What's up, guys? After living in a container home in Uvita, Costa Rica for a couple weeks, Jazz and I have moved into our second home. So Jazz and I have recently moved out of our container home and moved into one of these three casitas at the Buda by Baina. Alright, I'll show you around. Right here we have a little cabana area. You know, this thing provides nice shade from the heat of the day. And there's a garden over here. That's the gate to get into this Three-Casita Compound. It's a parking area. That's the first casita. Over here there's a little greenhouse. This is the bodega where the washer and dryer are kept. Here's the view of the yard from the other side. And you can see 1, 2, 3 casitas and Jazz working. Sooks! It's like Suki caught a lizard. Okay, right through the front door, here's the main living area and kitchen. The kitchen has concrete countertops. You probably noticed there's no cabinet doors. A lot of the houses we've seen in Costa Rica don't have cabinet doors. I'm assuming that's because of the high humidity here, and a lot of places don't have air conditionings. So doors just trap humidity, which is no good. Same thing for pantries. Most places we've seen don't have the pantries we have in the States. A lot of these open shelvings and you know, kind of work just fine for storing your food. Refrigerators, this is really a big refrigerator for what we've seen in Costa Rica. And after talking to some of the locals, big refrigerators and pantries are kind of American concepts. They go shopping every couple days, so they don't store a lot of food in their house. So really no need for a bigger refrigerator or a lot of food storage like we're used to. Kitchen sink. I don't know if you can see, but that has a P-trap, which is an improvement from our last place. Nice stainless steel kitchen sink, nice faucet here. Induction cooktop, this is a little bit smaller than what we had before. So our last one had 2 eyes, this one has 1 eye, so we're only cooking 1 pan at a time. Got our microwave and a toaster oven. Is what kind of electricity do we have in Costa Rica? Well, it's the same as we have in the States. It's the 120, 240, same plug, 60 cycle. So all your American appliances work here just fine without a converter. I will come around the other side. We have a single mini split air conditioning unit that cools this entire place. Let's see, 2 bigger windows. Oh, something interesting about the exterior doors is that I noticed most exterior doors that on the houses we've seen in Costa Rica don't have the thresholds like we have in the States, and they also don't have weather stripping. So not as energy efficient. And the windows, most of these windows here are single pane windows. So also not a very energy efficient. We brought our Apple TV and our Alexa, which both of those work just fine here. Something interesting about the Apple TV, since we're in Costa Rica, we get Costa Rican programming. So our Netflix, our Hulu, HBO, anything that we use for our streaming services our streaming Costa Rica programming. So what we do is we use a VPN, and the VPN allows us to stream or use a server from the United States. So when we're on our Apple TV or on our computers, they think we're in the United States and we get United States programming. But if we don't turn on our VPN and say we're on Google, everything will show up in Spanish. So it's nice to have a VPN. We have a little hallway right here with Katniss. And this first room here on our right is our master bedroom. I think that's a queen size bed, a large window. When Jazz picked up the cats a few weeks ago, she brought back a cat tree. So the cats just love hanging out on that thing and looking out the window. Here is our closet space. Now I mentioned that there's not a lot of enclosed cabinets. Same for closets. We've seen a couple closets in some houses we looked at, but most of them are like open racks, basically a closet organizer inside the room instead of like a walk-in closet. All right, not much to see in here. Our suitcases, not a whole lot of storage here, so our suitcases are still out. Let's move over to the office. So this is where Jazz has been officing out of. It's a smaller room. When we moved in here, it was a bedroom, and we had our first visitor, Jan. She came by and for a week, and she stayed in here. But at that time, there was a queen size bed in here, and we asked the owners if they could remove that so we could turn it into an office space, and that's what we did. And it's working out pretty nice. But actually, later today, our shipping container's arriving. So we're gonna move this office probably out to the living area, and this whole room will be storage for our stuff from the shipping container. All right, coming through here, the bathroom, which is always a area of interest. So you got your shower back there. It's a nice little walk-in shower. All right, if you watched our last video, I introduced y'all to the suicide shower. This is not a suicide shower. This house actually has an instant hot water heater. It's electric, and it does really well for the shower and the 2 sinks that are in this house. You got the tile walls. And I mentioned before, all the walls in this house are concrete. So that's interesting. Vanity with a vessel sink. And probably my favorite part about this bathroom is that you can actually flush toilet paper here. So the family who owns this place, they're American, and when they remodeled this place, that's something they upgraded. They actually jackhammered up the floor and took out the 2-inch sanitary line that was going from the toilet to the septic and put in a 4-inch. So you could flush toilet paper. Yeah, this is a nice place. We pay $900 a month. We have that whole outside area to share with the 2 other casitas. Yeah, it's comfortable. It stays cool with the air conditioning. Has everything we need, but it's still a little bit too small, especially with all our stuff coming later today from the shipping company. So our lease is up in November, and we are looking for something else, and we may stay in the Uvita area, or we may go outside of it. Uvita is a small town, and it seems like every day it gets a little smaller as we explore and check things out. So who knows, by November we may have conquered this little town and ready to move on. But it's a beautiful town. There's a lot to do. The people here are great. So it's just, there's still plenty to explore. But yeah, Thanks for checking out our video, and if this is your first time on our channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like this type of content, hit the like button. Appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.